I'm going to start with some baseball. Even with a Monday Night Football doubleheader, that can't top winner-take-all baseball with the World Series on the line, especially when the home team has not been to the World Series in over 3 decades, and the road team has never been to a World Series. Unfortunately for you, Seattle, your wait continues. You got about as close as you could possibly get. You got as close as you've ever gotten before, which has got to make it all the more painful. You essentially got as close as you can get. You got 8 outs away, and you lost by a run with J-Rod at the plate and the dumper on deck. It doesn't get any closer. It does not get any more cruel. Hey, Seattle, I actually feel for you right now. I understand how cruel it can be for a ride like that, an incredible ride like that, to just screech to a sudden halt. I mean, that was obviously one of the best Mariner teams and one of the best Mariner seasons ever, but it just doesn't feel complete without that AL pennant, without a shot to play for the commissioner's hunk of metal.
Piece of metal.
Hunk of metal.
Piece of metal.
Piece of metal.
Piece of metal.
As amazing as that season was, does it or does it not feel incomplete? Incomplete. That's why the dumper was all puffy-eyed and weepy in his locker after the game, because the job is not finished. And that is a brutal way for the most enjoyable season ever to come to an end. Now, that said, you all know I was pulling for my gaucho brother, Shane Bieber, to start that game last night. And while my man didn't necessarily pull up Blake Snell, he did do his job. And then the Toronto bullpen did their jobs. They kept the game within striking distance, kept it within reach, gave their bats a chance. Toronto kept it close enough that one swing could flip the entire game, save the entire season. And then, with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th, one swing did all of that.
Final pitch. High fly ball. Left field. Arozarena watches it go.
Man, that says it all right there. If you're watching on the stream, that says it all. Of course, it was Springer, like I posted on X last night. Always George freaking Springer. The former World Series MVP just went all Joe Carter with it. Hell, he went all Kawhi, corner fadeaway with it. It's almost like somebody should hook Springer up with a shady, no-show tree company job. He earned it. A massive, massive moment in Blue Jays history. Maybe even a massive moment in karma history. And no, I don't mean jungle karma. I mean plain old normal karma. Because I seem to remember a strange reaction to George Springer getting dotted back in Game 5. See if you can hear what I'm referring to.
Got away from him and hit him right on the kneecap.
That hurt.
That sounded terrible.
It sounded terrible. It looked terrible. And I bet that felt terrible. That's not like getting hit in the back, getting hit in the ass. Not even exactly like Philadelphia Eagle fans cheering as Michael Irvin lay motionless on the turf back in the day as if he might be paralyzed. But it's still not a great look at all. And then that's the guy who turns around and drills the 3-run shot that ends your storybook season. Pretty rough. Eh, Mariners fan? I'm not saying you're all at fault for the few idiots who cheered as that guy was lying on the ground after he took one off the kneecap. I'm just saying that is a brutal way for all of this to go down. Well, brutal for you and sort of hilarious to anybody with any common decency. I'll tell you what was awesome. You know what was actually awesome? seeing another one of my Gaucho brothers, Spilly. My man Spilly, interviewing my other Gaucho brother, Beebs, after the game. Check out these two Gauchos talking to one another.
I figured it's George effing Springer, man. That was epic. I'm so happy.
What does it mean for you to get to the World Series with this group of guys?
Gonna make me emotional thinking about this group. Like, I don't know. It's a really special group, Spilly. It's like, I'm not just saying that. Like, it's crazy. This is the most fun I've ever had. So, really enjoying it.
Wow. It's getting kind of dusty up in here for me even. You're going to make me emotional, Beebs. Beebs talking to Spilly. Spilly asking Beebs questions. Gauchos. He's right. It is George effing Springer, man. I don't know what's more impressive. That Toronto found a way to come back from a 3-2 hole to win this series, or that they found a way to overcome Vlad Jr. showing up in an Austin Matthews Maple Leafs jersey. Look at this dude. That is incredible. You want to talk about tempting fate. But then again, Vlad did say before the game, I'm born for it. I was born for it. But you see that insanity? If you're watching on the stream, Vlad Jr. really showed up in a jersey of the dude with the worst Game 7 luck in the world. Matthews is 0 for 6 as a Maple Leaf in Game 7s. They also had a shortened series Game 5 back in 2020, lost that one too. So Vlad Jr. shows up in the uniform of a local star who has lost 7 winner-take-all games in a row. The freaking brass set on this dude. The incredible confidence to rock that jersey with the mentality that it ends tonight. It ends right now. If the Leafs cannot end this futility, we will do it. I mean, just insanity to see that dude pull up in that gamer. Almost as crazy as Josh Naylor leaping in front of a double play ball on a throw back to first. If you're watching on the stream, look at this guy. I'll wear that. I mean, you obviously can't do that. You obviously cannot do that. You can't jump in there to impede that throw. But you know, on some level, I love that he did. I love that he did. He's like the one dude who goes out of his way to get pegged in the back when he could just slide. It's like the very opposite of the Bryce Terang thing in the Dodgers series. Naylor wanted to wear one for the team. Even though in this case, wearing one for the team didn't actually help the team. And I love how pissed Bieber was about it afterwards. Check this out. You don't need to be a great lip reader, because I'm not, to know exactly what he said. Look at Biebs. Biebs is like, well, I don't want to say what he's saying. You can see what he's saying if you're watching on the stream. I could probably get in trouble for playing that on the stream. The F-bomb is clear. But he's like, the hell are you doing, psycho? The hell are you thinking, psycho? But clearly what the dude was doing, he was just laying it all on the line, like he always does. The Mariners had to sell out for this game, obviously. They had to try any and everything they possibly could. And Naylor did. Naylor was like, I will eat that ball if it gets us through this game. Unfortunately for Seattle, they simply couldn't pull it off. And the heartbreak and the devastation are real. None of the Mariners are trying to go around saying, man, what a great season. I feel great about this. It didn't end the way we had hoped, but what a memorable season. What a great season. I'll never forget this season. None of them were saying that. None of them felt good about how that season ended. And that was very, very clear during Brian Woo's postgame comments. Check it.
But what ultimately do you feel like the legacy of this team is going to be, having gone as further than any other team in franchise history?
That, I mean, legacy is no one's really satisfied or happy with this, I think.
Incredible. So dude is asked, it's the greatest season the franchise has ever had, but you came up short. So what will the legacy be? And then off in the background, you hear this guttural roar. Somebody's screaming, ah! So Wu is asked, what's the legacy going to be? And without skipping a beat, he says, that. That. What's our legacy? That. Hey, Alvin, you know that spooky mix you're not doing? That you should be doing? Put that in. That was like the Mariners' version of the jungle manual buzzer. It's like they manual buzzard their own season. Or at least the question. Legacy. Oh!
No. You don't like that call. I don't like that call. Not a very
I mean, you can hear it, you can feel it. You can't see it, but you can hear it and you can feel it. The pain in that scream. So much anguish in that scream. That is the very sound of the agony of defeat right there. That's what the agony of defeat sounds like. That's even what the agony of defeat feels like. You can feel it in that scream. Listen to this dude. That's not out of some sound library. That's not AI. That's a real Mariner who just lost that series. That's not some dude getting jerked off a Delta flight or some dude finding out that he was first on the downgrade list. Or LeBron. That's the sound of a loser. Well, on the wrong end of the ALCS when they came so close. And they thought they had it up 3-1 late in Game 7. Only to get springered. Up 3-2 in the series, then up 3-1 in Game 7. That'll make you make this sound. Now, it may also be the sound that Toronto makes when they realize they've got to play the Dodgers next. Oh! Anyway, Toronto, I know you hear me. We're on in Canada. Well, we were on in Canada before we digitized, before we started streaming. I want to hear you. Can you hear me, Toronto? What a night. What a night. You're back in the World Series. Seattle, you've never been. Sorry about that. Gave it a good run. Good job. Good effort. Good job. Good effort, Seattle. See you never again. Well, maybe. Just not this year.